All right, this is Rich Vernadeau with the Rich Vernadeau Show, and I am simply putting a question out there. I'm neutral. I'm not taking sides. In fact, I want to be very clear at the beginning of this that I'm thrilled and delighted that we were able to obtain, the United States was able to obtain the release of Brittney Griner. I think that she was put up on inflated, bogus charges that were they put her in that camp. She was, held a prisoner there for all this time. I think that she was treated terribly unfairly by the Russians, as an example, and as a trading bargaining chip on their part towards us in order to get who they got back, of course, which was the Merchant of Death, who's an arms dealer who deals in weapons of mass destruction. And he's not a good guy. The man that we traded the Russians to obtain her release is not a nice guy. So let's just be clear about that. By the same token, Paul Whelan, who's still being held, has been held for several years. He was initially arrested back in 2018, accused of spying, and then the Russians sentenced him in 2020 to many years in prison, and he's been held there. Well, he's been held since 2018, but he's been in prison since 2020. Needless to say, the man is an American. He is a former Marine, and he did have a high-profile intel work. In fact, at the time of his arrest, he was working for Borg Warner, which is a big corporation that deals in international stuff. Borg Warner, he was their security man, and he was accused of spying by the Russians. Now, I've looked at his background, and he's not necessarily what you call a nice guy, but he is an American, and he was at one point fairly important within the intelligence structure. Obviously, whether you want to call him a hero or not, that's subjective. That you have to look at this from all sides. I don't know enough about the man to really weigh in on that. Needless to say, we do need to obtain her release. But the question here is for people to think about, because there's a lot of people who are unhappy with this. There's a lot of people who are quite happy. And I know that as an American, I'm thrilled that Brittney Griner is back. I know that her friends and family and fans are equally thrilled. Uh, was there political pressure placed by various groups on President Biden to obtain a release? Well, yeah, quite possibly. But by the same token, there's lots of people out there who are also wanting to see Whalen released. It's not an either or. It wasn't a choice type situation. The Russians have the upper hand. They're in control of this because they have our people. And as Biden said in his speech this morning, there was no choice involved in this. They simply were able to obtain the release of Brittney Griner first. So, now there's still a deal that has to be cut with the Russians for the release of Paul Whelan. So, I'd like for people to weigh in and comment on this. Where do you stand and how do you feel about it in terms of what's being done? Was it a fair trade? Where do you fall on this particular subject? So, I'm looking forward to someone to comment in chat. I'll read your comment here and respond to it. I'm sure other creators, other content creators, shout out to Sticks Hexenhammer. I'm sure he'll be doing a video about this tomorrow morning. And I'm sure Tim Pool and Adam Krigler will probably weigh in. Before it's over with, I'm sure Karlin Boroshenko will weigh in. The woman who's a candidate for governor up there in New Hampshire on Libertarian. Anyway, it's going to be very interesting to see what other people have to say about this. I'm sure there's going to be talk everywhere about it. Obviously it's trending on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. So anybody who deals with social media, this is the hot button topic of the day. This is the trending topic. This is the big issue. This is the lead story. If we're a newspaper guy right now, this is the headline. So I want to know just basically where you stand. What's your individual personal take on this? And by all means, leave a comment below. letting me know where you're at. And this is also going to be you can comment on this video, of course, after the stream has ended. After my live stream ends, you can still go in and comment there on YouTube below the video, and of course you can comment over on Twitter and in the Facebook groups where this will be posted as well. So this is Rich Vernadeau, and thank you for watching. This is the Rich Vernadeau Show. I go live several days a week. Eventually, I will be going live daily, at least once, and perhaps more than once. And over time, depending upon the level of engagement and the number of people who are watching and responding, and as it grows, which it will, you will see me on here for longer periods of time. And there'll be days when I have several different topics to discuss, and I will weigh in on those. And of course, I'll read your comments and respond to them. So by all means, be part of the super chat here, be part of the chat, and make your feelings known. Anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. This has been Rich Vernadeau with the Rich Vernadeau channel.